All right, we're going to start off the show. This is DayTraderRockStar here, nighttime show with the background music. Danielson here on the mic, doing some Karate Kid music. Excuse me. Anyway, I'm going to record this segment of the show. We're going to do some research. And I wanted to record it in case we come across good things. I could send it out to the members who have missed the broadcast. All right, it's about a little after 9 o'clock p.m. Thursday, May 3rd or May 2nd? May 2nd. May 2nd. May 2nd, Thursday. Market is, what are we doing here? The market's pulling back a little, it looks like. Why is my, this doesn't look like it's... Oh, there it is.
Order filled.
Looked a little weird there for a second. There is the market here pulling back. Now, Asian markets are opening up, and we do get news flow from Asia at this time, around 9 o'clock, then 10 o'clock. So lots of times we'll see a lot of movement in the market. Overall, the market is up $1.50. And... let me turn off the music here for a second. I'll use that great song. More Karate Kid music. But I want to get a head start on the HBS list. Get us ready for tomorrow. And I have a lot of good stocks to look at today and kind of review. First thing we're going to do is talk about the market. Now, I'm going to gloat a little. I'm going to gloat, put it down on video. That... when Apple came out with its earnings, we went long Apple into earnings. All right. And the plan was to take it off tomorrow. I was only I only had 2 days on the options, so we did good on it. We got a 10-point move on it, or over 210, or whatever we got on it. Sold it, moved on, took those profits and rolled them right into puts on the S&P, and looking for the kind of the sell the news event that was going to come along with Apple earnings being behind us, and a good Apple earnings. I went into this saying Apple needs to come out and really do good and gap up, and it's going to cause the market to gap up. And when the market's going to gap up, it's going to lose it and roll over, and they're going to trap a lot of people in with a topping pattern. So exactly what happened, that's Apple. If you take a look at the S&P, SPX, yesterday, the same thing happened. We closed hard. On the day. We were short. We took those shorts into today. We started covering most of them. I think I have two puts left. And then I had Nike short. It was the first time I was really short the market. And I still think we're going to head a little bit lower. I think we're heading a little bit lower. But this is my scenario. I want to put this down. On officially on the video. This is how I think it's going to play out. Or one of the scenarios. This is definitely a scenario that I like. We got the gap up. We got the move up. And then we got the reversal. All right? I already discussed 3 times since yesterday the reason we're looking for a follow-through, because the market, when it gets hit with selling, we tend to consolidate or pull back. In this case, here's a down day, kind of a down day. The bigger down days usually get some follow-through over the next couple of days to the downside. So we looked for the same thing here. This is another big candle, so we're going to look for a couple of days to the downside. Now, when's the magic going to be gone? When's the magic going to be leaving the market where we just don't have a little pullback and push to new highs, that we have more of extended pullback, and we pull back to, the March pullback wasn't that bad. I mean, we pulled back to the 200-period moving average, and that seemed like it was big, but it really wasn't, because the 200 was just catching up, and I mean, the market wasn't that extended from the 200. We're a little bit more extended now. We're definitely extended a lot more from everything. So people are saying, all right, is it time for this market to roll over? It feels like it, but we have some news overhanging us, all right? So it becomes a little tricky here. I want to get your opinion on this after, but this is my call. We'll pull back here, get very, very kind of nervous in the market, and then boom, the China trade deal will be finalized. All right? We'll be close enough to the highs. We won't be down here too far. We're going to be pretty close that we're going to get a fast spike to new highs. Stochastics are already starting to turn down. We're going to be down here maybe a little bit further lower on the stochastics when we figure this out. Remember, the market probably is going to drift a little bit lower, maybe even get down to that 50-period moving average as it's moving up. Maybe. But this is the scenario I'm thinking of. News is going to have enough power to bring us back up and take out the all-time highs. Stochastics at that point will budge to the upside, showing that weakness is really going to be in, and that will leave a huge divergence. If a candle takes out the highs, and that it will be a higher high, but the stochastics won't take it a high. It'll be a lower high on the stochastics, and I think that'll be a sell zone on that. So I think we could actually go a little bit higher on that. The news could bring us up at that level. I feel like the divergence will set up perfectly on the news. We won't get the rotation. We'll be able to confirm that. And then, we have to just kind of switch the game plan a bit. So that's what I'm thinking. As for tomorrow, we have the jobs report. Now, Pence is going to be interviewed. I believe he's going to be interviewed on CNBC after the jobs report. Jobs report's no one knows what the jobs report is, right? I mean, I'm not sure if anybody gets the numbers beforehand. Does the president get these numbers beforehand? I don't know how it really works. You would think he would get it. He has clearance. He would be able to get that information. So if they had good numbers, they would want to have someone on discussing the numbers and discussing the job report. So you're probably going to look at this as being a very positive jobs report. I think so. Positive jobs report. Now, how is that going to be seen in the market? Pence is already scheduled to do an interview at like 9:00 after the jobs report is out. Bada bing, put two and two together. So good jobs report tomorrow. How much does that affect the market? Good question. That's something. If we're going to see that buying pressure, we'll probably see some selling come into that after it pops a bit. Initial chop. It's going to be choppy, but once that range, once the trend develops and we start to see selling again after a good jobs report, people are going to get nervous. If we get a pop up here on that jobs report, fine. It's a news day, just like a Fed day. Things get to be more volatile. When we trade the S&P, futures and the Nasdaq futures and the Dow futures, we trade them on our time frame. We get to decide when we want to trade them. So if you find yourself being whiplashed around, pull back. There's always another day of trading. There's always next week. Don't end the week on a sour note. We had a great week. Hopefully everyone had a great week, but it seemed to have been a very good week in the room, and the volatility here. We'll see if that messes with anything tomorrow. So I'm curious to see, the jobs report, how that is. I still have a little short in the market. The scenario of the pop to new highs and then the failure for the rotation of the stochastic showing a real big sell divergence. I think that's a good possibility in this market. Not to say it's the only one. Might be totally wrong. But if I do see that, boy, it's going to be that's going to be great. Look at this little wedge pattern blow off and then a return back down. We see that pattern a lot. All right, so that's that. The other thing I was going to go over, you know what, I might stop this video, put that as market radar, and then make another video for the HPS. That's what I'll do right now. So this was the market radar for the next couple days, and we'll talk. I'll just stop this right now, but I'm still doing the show right now. There is a bot trade going on too. It's choppy. I'm not looking at this as a good trade right now. Again, I'm definitely when we put out the bot officially, going to really stress the importance of not over trading overnight. There will be times you can, and there's time frames that you can after 3 o'clock, or look at certain times. You'll be alerted to those levels. You'll be alerted to the 5-minute divergence. That if it happens at 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock, you want to know when that is. You can maybe, I just thought about this right now. Set a time frame. Alert me. I bet I could do this. Set what time frames you want to be alerted, so you're not getting the alerts. You're not getting the alerts constantly throughout the night, and it's bothering you. You could just pick the time frames you want the alerts in. So say you want to know if there's a divergence, at European Open. So you say I will receive alerts from 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock. And that would be great. That would be great. I just thought about that. Now, I don't know if that can be done, but time frame, let me write it down. Time frame for alerts. That would be a good option, be able to pick when you want to get alerts. Because I can't get up at 3 o'clock. And if we go back in the market here overnight to any overnight session, there is activity. All right, here, this is just a couple nights ago, I think. This is May 5th. All right, so let's just go through this. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. I want to zoom out. I mean, if I was up and doing things, I'm just being honest with you. I'll tell you, if I would have taken a trade like this is very close. It's a divergence. It has that, but I probably wouldn't, because I'm now have super discipline. I have super discipline that I really require that line to be above that dotted line. And it is slightly under it, so I would probably not take that, just because I don't want to get myself caught in that. I'm going to start, cutting the edges. And just because it does look like, who cares? There's plenty of trades to be had. This was some news, I believe, at 10 o'clock, the home price, the housing prices or something, and this big candle came down. It didn't move the stochastics at all. And that would have been hard to measure, really. It happened so fast. But that, when you have a news-based candle, you want to just almost forget about it and just use the candles around it. And in that case, it was still a divergence. It had a nice little move up, and then it rotated back down. That was a decent divergence. That was a decent one. I mean, I don't know if I would have... I didn't take that. I was actually... we probably followed that one. I was trying to look at the overnight trade. That's what I wanted to show you. All right, so here's... let's see here. Not seeing anything. 7 o'clock in the morning. See, not much overnight, I didn't see anything that would really turn me on. Maybe right here there was a divergence right there. You could see it. Well, it's borderline. Probably when it's, again, sloppy. But when do I want to get these? If they are, they're probably when the volume comes into the market a little bit more. In this case, it was happening around 2 o'clock, but really 3 o'clock starts picking up. And then, of course, here you have some great divergences. That was a great one. That was the best one of the day. I think it probably might have been a 5-minute one too. And then there was a sell side divergence. Then things really started just playing out perfectly. This is where we are now. All right, let me stop that video. I just talk and I'm